This story takes me back about 15 years. I had just moved to America, full of hope and desperation in equal measure. I was working as a waiter at a small Italian restaurant in Boston. Long hours, low pay, but it was a start. I was sharing a place with two friends, Mike, a line cook from the same restaurant, and Danny, who worked construction. We were cramming into a rundown 2-bedroom in Dorchester, splitting rent 3 ways just to survive. Then, one day, our landlord dropped a bomb on us. "I'm tearing this place down," he said, barely looking up from his coffee. "You've got 2 weeks." Just like that, we were scrambling. I spent every free moment scrolling Craigslist, calling numbers, getting rejected. Boston rent was brutal, especially for 3 immigrants with no credit history. Then I found it. A listing for a duplex in a quiet neighborhood just outside the city. The rent was almost half what we'd been paying. The photos looked decent, old, sure, but charming in that New England way. White clapboard siding, black shutters, a wide front porch. I called immediately. The man who answered had a slow, careful voice. He introduced himself as Mr. Carlson, the property manager. "It's available," he said, "but I need first month's rent up front, cash only, and there are some rules." "What kind of rules?" "You'll see when you get there. Can you come by tomorrow evening?" The next evening, Mike, Danny, and I drove out to the address. The neighborhood was eerily quiet. Tree-lined streets, older homes set back from the road, very few streetlights. It felt isolated, like the kind of place where everyone minded their own business. The duplex stood at the end of a cul-de-sac. It was bigger than I'd expected, a tall 2-story Victorian with peeling paint and overgrown hedges. The porch sagged slightly on one side. Mr. Carlson was waiting for us. He was older, maybe mid-60s, with thinning gray hair and wire-rimmed glasses. He wore a flannel shirt and khakis, and he had this nervous habit of jingling the keys in his pocket. "Good evening, gentlemen," he said, shaking our hands with a weak grip. "Let me show you around." He unlocked the front door and let us inside. The first floor was exactly what you'd expect from an old rental. Scratched hardwood floors, outdated wallpaper, a small kitchen with yellowing linoleum. But it was clean enough. Livable. 2 bedrooms down here, Mr. Carlson said, gesturing down the hallway. Bathrooms through there. Living room, kitchen, you've seen it all. "What about upstairs?" I asked, nodding toward the staircase in the corner. That's when I noticed it. The staircase was completely boarded up. Thick planks of plywood had been nailed across the bottom, blocking all access to the second floor. Mr. Carlson cleared his throat. "The upstairs is off limits. The owner stores valuable personal items up there. It's in the lease. No one goes up." "That's unusual," Mike said. "It's non-negotiable," Mr. Carlson replied, his tone suddenly firm. "You have full access to the first floor. That should be more than enough space for 3 people." Danny frowned. "But why board it up like that? Why not just lock the door?" Mr. Carlson hesitated, his fingers still jingling those keys. "Look, I'm going to be honest with you. This is an old house. You might hear some sounds from time to time. Settling, pipes, that sort of thing. Don't worry about it. And whatever you do, don't investigate. Just let it be." A chill ran down my spine. "Is there something wrong with this house?" I asked directly. He forced a thin smile. "If there was something wrong, do you think I'd be renting it to you?" Before I could press further, he handed me the keys. "First month's rent is due now. Cash. Do we have a deal?" We exchanged glances. The rent was too good to pass up, and we were out of options. "Yeah," I said. "We'll take it." We moved in the next day. It didn't take long. None of us had much. A few suitcases, some second-hand furniture, a microwave Danny's cousin had given him. The first night was uneventful. We ordered pizza, watched TV, joked about our haunted mansion. It felt good to have our own place, even if it was a little creepy. I slept fine. Night 2. I woke up at 3:17 a.m. A woman was screaming. It wasn't a scream from outside. It wasn't from a neighbor's TV. It was coming from inside the house, raw, guttural, filled with pure agony. I sat bolt upright in bed, heart hammering in my chest. The scream came again, louder this time, desperate. "Help me, please!" I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight. My hands were shaking. I crept to my bedroom door and opened it slowly. The hallway was dark and silent. Mike's door was closed, so was Danny's. Neither of them seemed to have woken up. Then I heard it again. This time, a man's voice, panicked and pleading. "Somebody help! She's dying!" The voice was coming from upstairs. I stared at the boarded-up staircase. My mind was racing. Should I wake the others? Call the police? Then I remembered Mr. Carlson's warning. Don't investigate. I stood there frozen for what felt like an eternity. Eventually, the screaming stopped. I went back to bed, but I didn't sleep. Night 3. It happened again the next night. Same time, 3:17 a.m. This time I heard both voices clearly. The woman screaming in pain, the man begging for help. I covered my ears with my pillow and waited for it to stop. Danny's gone. The next morning, Danny was missing. I woke up around 8 o'clock and walked into the kitchen. Mike was already there, looking worried. "Have you seen Danny?" "No," I said. "Maybe he went for a run?" "His phone's on the counter, his wallet's here, his shoes are by the door." We searched the house, calling his name. Nothing. Then Mike grabbed my arm. "Look!" The wooden boards blocking the staircase had been torn apart. Jagged splinters of plywood lay scattered across the floor. The stairs leading to the second floor were completely exposed. "Jesus Christ," I whispered. "We have to go up," Mike said. Every instinct told me not to, but Danny was missing. We climbed the stairs. Upstairs. The second floor was suffocating. The air was thick and stale, like a crypt that hadn't been opened in decades. Dust coated everything. There were 3 doors, 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. And then I saw it, a trail of blood. It started at the top of the stairs and led into the far bedroom. "Oh God," Mike breathed. We followed the trail. The door was slightly ajar. I pushed it open. Danny was lying on the floor, motionless. His shirt was torn. Deep scratches covered his arms and chest. Blood pooled beneath him. "Danny!" I rushed over, checking for a pulse. He was alive, barely. "Call 911!" I shouted. Mike already had his phone out. The ambulance. The paramedics arrived within 12 minutes. They stabilized Danny and loaded him onto a stretcher. He was unconscious, his breathing shallow. The police came right after. Detective Sarah Brennan, a sharp-eyed woman in her 40s, took our statements in the living room. "Walk me through everything," she said, notebook in hand. I told her about Mr. Carlson, the boarded-up stairs, the screaming at night. She frowned. "Who's Mr. Carlson?" "The property manager. He rented us the place." Detective Brennan exchanged a look with her partner. "This house has been abandoned for 7 years. The owner died in 2006. There is no property manager." The room seemed to tilt. "That's impossible," I said. "We met him. He gave us the keys. We paid him rent, cash." "Then you were scammed," she said quietly. "Whoever took your money had no authority to rent this property." She paused. "There's something else you should know. A woman died in this house under suspicious circumstances. Her husband abandoned her. She died alone, starvation, dehydration, neglect. By the time anyone found her, her body had been decomposing for weeks." I felt sick. "Since then," Detective Brennan continued, 2 other people have died here. Both of them went upstairs." 6 weeks later, Danny was released from the ICU. We visited him at the hospital. Detective Brennan was there too. "Can you tell us what happened?" she asked gently. Danny's voice was hoarse, his eyes haunted. "I heard someone crying for help. A woman. She sounded like she was dying." He swallowed hard. "I went to the stairs. They were boarded up, but I don't know. I just ripped the boards off. It felt like something was giving me strength." "What did you see upstairs?" Brennan asked. Danny closed his eyes. "There was a woman in one of the bedrooms. She was rotting. Her skin was peeling off. She looked at me and whispered, 'Water, please.'" His hands trembled. "I tried to run, but she grabbed me, threw me against the walls, over and over. I remember the pain. Then everything went black." We moved out that same day. The house was condemned. The city sealed it off. I never saw Mr. Carlson again. I don't know who he was or what he was, but I'll never forget his warning. Don't investigate. Some doors should stay closed.